long story short, if you look at the other tweets he was making around that time, like selling his earthly possessions, he was tweeting some weird conspiracy stuff. I reckon he was just on a massive like acid trip. I reckon he's like in quarantine. He's locked himself in a basement, and
he's doing some shrooms.
He is just shrooming, and he was just there. And he was What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Watchtime. Today we've got a very fun episode filled with talking about all the most horrible, toxic people on the platform, as well as talking about music, how it's becoming more and more integrated with games, what all these artists are having to do while they're all stuck in quarantine, and some of the really cool things that have come from that over the past few weeks, especially around games like Fortnite. But first up, I'm here with my sister Grace, who is also the CEO of Click Management. How you doing, Grace?
I'm good. Hello. I've got my cup of tea here. I was just saying to Elliot before I got a tea before this week's episode, because last week all these people were commenting on the fact that I'm wheezing apparently, or it like makes sound when I breathe. I was like, bloody hell. Like, I feel like, oh my God, I just noticed I did it then.
I'm noticing it now.
Literally, I feel like this is a thing. It's week 8 of quarantine now. And people are annoyed at the sound of other people breathing. It's like, it's at that point, I feel like.
Yeah. So
I don't know, like you and Liv live together, but do you feel like, I mean, you still get to go to the office every day. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I feel like the couples or people that are living together and everyone's just in the same space 24/7.
Oh my God. I actually can't imagine being in the same building as someone for 24 hours a day for this many months. Like if I wasn't bike riding into the office every day to record, I would have gone insane. No question.
Things like the sound of people breathing, like legit get on your nerves. Yeah. Anyway, so I Googled what stops wheezing, because I'm in Toronto, guys, and I can't tell you, it's so dry here that apparently that's the reason. So apparently warm beverages help. So shout out to the haters. I'm trying to overcome your criticisms.
Doing everything. They're just worried about your health.
Thanks. So considerate. But yeah, I feel like it's actually been a pretty drama-filled week on the internet. People are getting like kind of antsy about stuff at the moment, and none more so than this girl.
But I feel like justifiably antsy. We're talking about the clip from, what's her name?
Invader V.
Invader V? That's such a like weird name. But anyway, the clip from Invader V, if you haven't seen it already, basically possibly one of the most entitled clips you've ever seen in your life. Just like normally would be a pretty entitled clip, 100%, generally, like any day of the week, any year, any month. But like this clip happening in the middle of COVID is like absolutely insane to me. Like
it's like read the room, doll. Read the room.
It's literally like this is like this is normally bad, but then doing this now is like, oh my God, this is next level stupidity. Or is it not stupidity, which is a good thing we can talk about in a little bit. But I guess first things first, do we want to watch the clip for those of you who haven't seen it?
Backtrack a second. This girl, I believe she's a 29-year-old streamer from Toronto. And I think she's relatively small most of the time, right? Like it's not like she has a huge audience most of the time. This clip blew up.
Like I'm looking at the thing in her clip and it says she's got a sub goal of 40. So she's got 11 subs. So I'm guessing not that many.
Yeah. I mean, I think this definitely, she couldn't have possibly anticipated how much this blew up on Twitter last week.
Or could she? All part of Musel's conspiracy and why he's keen to talk about it more during the podcast.
Okay. Firstly, let's play the clip, because I feel like if you haven't heard this already, you really need to hear it to understand.
And I just want to say her Twitch name is Invader V, but I'm pretty sure her IRL name is probably Karen, because, man, no one's ever given me heavy Karen vibes like this is giving me heavy Karen. Oh, my God. I can picture her wanting to talk to the manager. Okay, ready? 3, 2,
100%.
1, play it.
It doesn't really matter how much money you make or how much money you have. That's really the thing. Because I'm not asking you for a large financial contribution.
I hate the smile so much.
If it costs $20 to sub, $20 is quite a bit of money. $20 is you can get a full meal for $20. And the difference of $20.
I hate how condescending she is with it as well.
That's where it is. But a sub is $5. At maximum, in whatever your currency is, it's maybe $10.
I was just
and
like,
it doesn't matter
a
how
sub
broke you are.
is
If you have
$5.
time,
Sorry. If you didn't know.
Can we just pause for a second? Pause. What is this lesson in foreign exchange as well? It's like a sub is $5. In your currency, max $10. Like, what?
That's not how currencies work.
This isn't logic. That's not logical. It doesn't make sense.
Ironically, where I am in Australia, it is
out.
actually exactly $10. But that is the one region where I think she's correct on that. If I'm in the Philippines,
what kills me is like the teacher vibes. The teacher vibes.
Oh my God, I was going to say
it.
it's teacher vibes. But you know what it is? It's that teacher
With
in
the
school.
hand movements.
It's that teacher in school that you absolutely hate, where they're like, where you'll do something wrong. They're like, Timmy, listen up. I don't know if you know this, but this is how things work. And you're just like, shut up, Miss Paulson. I don't care. I know how things work. I know that I'm 12 years old, but stop treating me like it. I'm an adult. You know, but like,
oh my God.
But it's
so
it's the
bad.
way.
It's just like, it's also just it's so shamey.
Yeah.
You know, it's so like, I'm up here and you're down here if you don't understand what I'm talking about.
We need to finish the clip. We need because the rants are going to begin. All right, go.
To watch Twitch, you have $10. Truly, if you don't have $10, you probably don't have time to watch Twitch because you should be working. You should be trying to earn money. It's not a ton. It's not like a ton of money. So being like, I'm broke, I can't afford to sub, that doesn't really track. What you mean to say is, I'm so irresponsible with my money, I can't support the entertainment that I enjoy.
Oh, the smile at the end! I want to punch a fucking wall. Someone's gonna die. Oh my God, the way she smiles at the end while being such a condescending.
The little like.
I want to punch something. I hate it. Yeah, it was just like, you know what? Oh my God. Do you remember, what was that movie called? Madeline, or the one about the girl who gets like magic powers or something, and she can like levitate things. There's like no. You know who she is? She's fucking Professor Umbridge. You know, from Harry Potter.
Oh.
How she goes. She's literally Professor Umbridge. This lady is like the IRL personification of Professor Umbridge.
Yeah. I don't like to talk badly about people.
No,
generally,
I'll talk badly about her.
But from this clip, I hate this girl.
I currently have her frozen smiling face on my screen, and I'm actually getting angrier.
It just gives the worst example. Oh, it's so frustrating. Like the condescending tone, the shame, like the trying to get people to sub by shaming them. Like, it's not that much money. It's not. And if you don't have $10, you shouldn't be watching this. You should be getting a job. Like, I just don't know in what mind she thought that this could work. I genuinely don't understand how she possibly thought this is going to get someone over the line.
Yeah, I mean, going from like the flat stupidity angle, I feel like there's a lot to deconstruct in why what she's saying is dumb. Number one, $5 isn't a lot of money is what she said. Okay, cool. Then why do you need it? Like, if it's not a lot of money, then why do you need it? And then if her response to that is, well, like one $5 isn't a lot, but then when they all add up, then it is a lot. Then it's like, okay, cool. That's the same for people when they're spending money in their actual life. One sub isn't that much money. But if they spend $5 on a Twitch sub, then $3 on the bus, and then $4 to get like a snack during the day. Like all those little things add up. Just because an individual amount isn't a lot of money doesn't just mean you have infinite small amounts to spend.
Which was exactly the logic that Pokimane said as well on Twitch, I think. Also, it's just completely illogical. It doesn't even show much of an understanding of the platform because most people, therefore, couldn't afford to watch very many streamers if they decided that they were going to sub to each of them because that was the right thing to do, in which case people are watching less streamers, which means the streamers are making less off ad revenue, which means less people are doing well on the platform anyway. It just totally defies logic. And I just think it's the worst of the Twitch culture.
Oh my God, the way where she's like, if you can't afford to sub, you should be like out working, not watching Twitch streams. I'm like, do you understand the number of people who work hard all day and then come back and they have like a chill out by watching a Twitch stream? Like,
also, do you understand that the unemployment rate has never been higher than it is right now?
Oh my God,
and there are literally hundreds of thousands of people that would love to work right now and truly can't.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, I'll rarely call someone dumb, but here's the thing. This is like so dumb. This is where I get suspicious because everything she's saying is so just objectively stupid. There's no way around it. Everything she's saying is nonsensical, dumb. Like, go out, get a job at a time where unemployment's never been higher. You know, like you know, if you can't afford to sub, then you're clearly just horrible with managing your money.
Yeah.
Like everything
It's
she says is
trolling.
so dumb. Exactly. I swear, every few months, and I actually feel like I remember that she had one of these about 6 months ago where it was a similar thing, because I swear I remember that setup, where a streamer will come out and they just do something completely ridiculous, completely outrageous, completely out of touch and like angering. Because the thing is, doing something that goes viral that is like funny or entertaining, that's hard. What's not hard is to just act like an entitled prick and have something go mega viral by just being a dick. Like, being a dick is easy. So it's like, if you need a sudden injection of people talking about your name, then you can get that. And honestly, like, and it's like so many people will hate you for it, but ultimately those people probably aren't going to be your audience. What you will maybe get is, you know, your existing audience is probably so dedicated they're not going to leave because of one bad clip, because I'm sure she acts like that all the time. And then let's say it reaches 100,000 people. Then let's say 20,000 of those people actually go watch her stream. Then let's say 1 in 1,000 of those people are people who are like, you know, only 1 in 1,000 people are like, oh yeah, like I guess she shouldn't have said that, but she's really cute and I like her. Then like, bam, she's grown her audience. You know, it's outrage. It's outrage marketing. And this clip went so viral. I guarantee I will stake a lot of money on the fact that her sub count has only gone up since this clip happened. Like, no question in my mind. Her sub count has gone up.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. That's my reaction.
I hadn't thought about it like that. And you're so right, though. I mean, in what other universe could she get Pokimane, Ninja, all these massive streamers tweeting about her, talking about her, all these other people have like spoken about it. She's on Drama Alert. Like, in what other context can you get that kind of, it's money can't buy publicity in a way. And I guess like if you're taking the all publicity is good publicity, but man, I don't know. Like,
it's
don't you think when you do something like that, I mean, I guess you're right. Like, to get something to go viral, I think the key is you have to make people feel something. You have to make them feel either like a level of happiness or excitement or surprise or intrigue, which is, I think, why, like, you know, David Dobrik's videos do really well, because he makes you feel so excited and like you watch his videos with a smile on your face. Like, Mr. Beast is doing something that you just can't believe he actually did. Like, these people are really making you feel something. And I guess in the same way, like outrage marketing makes you feel something as well, which is why it goes so massive. But like, man, don't you think when you do something like that, when you're a small streamer and you do something that controversial or that like intense, that's all you're ever going to be known for? Like, do you think she'll always, no matter what happens, she's always going to be that girl that did that clip?
No, I think the internet moves so quickly. I think that a lot
really?
of because I feel like you still see it. There's a lot of people. Not that I think this person's ever going to blow up, because she seems to have the personality of a wallpaper. But you know, there's a lot of big YouTubers out there who, you know, like, it'll come out like years later after they've blown up, and it'll be like, oh, you guys remember when like Shane Dawson said this? Or like, oh my God, do you remember when Jeffree Star did all this like really messed up stuff on Facebook? Like, that stuff comes out.
Literally, Jeffree Star. I was listening to the Mum's Basement podcast that Face Banks is doing the other day, and they had Jeffree Star on the podcast, and they were talking about like, he's been involved with some pretty rogue people, like people that are now in jail on like child pedophilia charges. And not that I'm saying he had actually had anything to do with them, but he said some controversial things in his past, and now he's completely fine. I guess same as like some, but I don't know. It makes me think of a streamer like Alinity or something, the girl who's gotten in trouble for like hurting animals or just being really rogue. But then, I don't know, I was talking to someone about that the other day, and they were like, she has a really devoted audience and following as well that love her, though.
It's just one of those things, like, you become a fan of someone. I mean, like, it's pretty much the way all drama happens on this platform, I feel. Like, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what someone does. It just matters whether they are the kind of person who people want to hate or they want to like. For like, same way that Trump can go out and he can just do the most insanely dumb, crazy, insensitive thing ever, right? But if you're a hardcore supporter of Trump, you're going to be like, it's fine, you know, like, it doesn't matter. But you can say that about everyone. Like, you know, when James Charles had all that drama happen, people were looking for reasons to hate him. So if people are looking for reasons to hate someone, they will find a reason to hate you. Same way that if people don't want to hate you, they'll find a reason why whatever you did isn't that bad. So it's like, ultimately, your audience is relatively static. I'd say when you get into a big bit of drama, of your existing viewers, maybe 10% are going to get swayed in or out depending on drama that you've been in. You know, like, you even look at it with stuff like, you know, and like, I don't want to like dig up stuff that like is kind of in the past, but, you know, stuff like Fitz, right? Like, there are certain YouTubers where if they were to go and sleep with one of their friends' girlfriends, that would be like you are done, cancelled permanently. With Fitz, it was kind of like look, Fitz, it's kind of like a dick move. Like, we're not proud of you. But then like a week later, it was like, hey guys, let's all get over it. It's fine. It's in the past. Which, don't get me wrong, I do think that's probably the way it should be dealt with, because that's the way it seemed like all parties wanted it to be. So I think that's fine. But I think it's reflective on how your audience's desire to like you will impact the, like, how any kind of drama about you actually plays out. And people want to love Fitz.
What do you think determines if someone is someone people want to love or someone people want to hate? Because I feel like the James Charles Tati thing actually was a really good example of that, because I remember when that was going all down, I think it was actually almost exactly a year ago now. And when I was watching that, I was shocked by how many people actually were unsubscribing and subscribing. Like, that people were fully taking that action and not just hearing the drama and being like, oh, drama, okay, but like, I still like watching his videos. It's like drama to the point where, no, I'm actually going to take an action here and unsubscribe or unfollow him.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know what drives it and what motivates it. I think it's definitely the personality type. I think the more kind of out there you are, and the more, you know what I would say? I would say it's the more unrelatable you are, the more people are ready to cancel you. You know, like, I would say someone like James Charles, who is very much like, look at me, look how much money I have, look how beautiful I am, look at all these cool things I can do. That puts him in a bit more of like an unrelatable stance, as opposed to, for example, someone like Fitz, where it's like, nah, he is a funny guy.
Yeah.
He's pretty relatable. He plays video games. Like, that's just like the guy you want to be friends with, you know? So it's like...
See, I actually disagree, because James recovered way better than Tati in that instance. He's now like back up. I think people have fully forgiven him for all of that, or they feel like he cleared his name. And then you look at someone like Jeffree as well, who said some really rogue stuff through that James Charles drama. Like, Jeffree tweeted that he was a predator, that there was a reason that he doesn't invite him in his house, which Jeffree then came back and was basically like, actually not true, or there was more to it or whatever. See, I think the factor is more like, how unashamedly you are you? Like,
yeah,
Jeffree is not a relatable person. He lives in like a $20 million home by himself.
That's a good point.
Driving Lambos with his 6 dogs and wearing like full velour tracksuits every day. Like, I don't know anyone that could possibly relate to Jeffree Star.
Yeah.
But people love him. And I think it's because he's so unashamedly himself. And he's like, yeah, I live in a $20 million home and I have a $1 billion business, but also I eat Taco Bell on the weekends. Or like, I love McDonald's and stuff.
But I think it's about owning it. It's about owning it though, but in not a dickhead way. You know, it's about if he were to be constantly doing that kind of drama stuff where he's like hating on people, I think he would see a negative fallout from that. I think he finds a good balance where it's kind of like, you know, he is rich, he's successful, but then he also has those relatable elements. So it's like, I eat Taco Bell, I like banter with my friends, I love, you know, it's like, but you're right. I think it's interesting. I don't know what the recipe is, but there is an element there. But yeah, I mean, did you see the girl's apology video as well? I've already forgotten her name. We just refer to her as Karen.
I did see Karen's apology video and it was pretty shocking. I don't know. I think it gave me low-key like sociopathic vibes.
So I was going to say,
because it was so unemotional.
When I watched the first clip, I was like, okay, this is so out of touch and so like just emotionless and unsympathetic that like, I'm like, you know what? This is clearly a marketing play. Like she's thinking about this in terms of like, I want to, you know, kind of like grow my following. I'm going to do it by creating a kind of semi-viral, you know, like aggressive clip to go out there.
That I know will go viral.
But then when she did the apology and it was like, it was weird. It was just weird, man. It was like, you're right, full sociopath. Like just, she was saying the words that you feel like someone would tell you people want to hear, but she was saying it in a way that was like none of the emotion behind those words at all. And
she completely, for the people that haven't seen the video, it's much less interesting than the original video, but she fully backtracked on everything she said. She was like, I said opinions that I just completely don't hold. It was quite bizarre. It wasn't like, oh, I was having a tough day or this is how I was feeling. It was just like a complete like, I didn't believe in any of the things that I actually said.
Which is weird. It's like occasionally someone will make like a random off the cuff or semi not in context or in a weird scenario comment. And then they're like, oh, like I didn't mean to say that. That was like, that's obviously not something I believe in. Right. But this was like, no, you went on a calculated rant. Like how do you do that and then be like, I don't believe in it? You know, it's like, it's weird.
I mean, yeah, and I think on the more broad topic of people asking for subs generally, what do you think? Because I feel like it's something that comes up semi-regularly. What do you think the ethics are there on how Twitch streamers deal with subs?
Look, I mean, ultimately, I think everyone on Twitch, same with me on YouTube, like you're doing a job that you're very, very lucky to be doing. A lot of people would kill to do. And the thing is, you're not entitled to that job. No. You know, like no one is entitled to be a YouTuber. No one is entitled to be a Twitch streamer. You don't have some claim where you have the right to do that job. Everyone, it's like a lot of things in creative, you know, it's like if you're lucky enough to have the people around you who want to support you, then lucky you can keep doing it. But at no point are people obliged to give you money for whatever you're doing. And I think that's the key. And I think that's why at no point is like, you know, if people subscribe, thank them. You know, if you want to try and create incentives around having people subscribe, you know, sub milestones, like goals for doing certain things, cool. That's all part of it. But at no point should you be shaming people for not subbing just because they didn't sub. You know, that's dumb. That's just insensitive.
Yeah, it's gross. It's also just like such an added extra of the Twitch platform, don't you reckon?
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God. Like,
I mean,
so many Twitch streamers.
So streamers get paid ad rev on Twitch. It's not like you're just relying on, I mean, look, at her size, she's probably not getting that much ad rev, but like, because you don't have that big an audience. Of course, it goes in line with your audience. But
yeah. You're not wrong though. Like the amount of money you can make per viewer on Twitch relative to YouTube is crazy. You know, you look at like a lot of channels will have a sub count roughly equal to what they're pulling in concurrent viewers, right? Like someone will have 2,000 or 3,000 concurrent viewers. They've probably got 2,000 or 3,000 active subs. It's like, it seems to be like the rough general rule that kind of works, I guess. You know, Summit with 50,000 viewers has about 50,000 subs. So if you were to like, but then if you were to like transpose that over to YouTube, right? Relative to, and keep in mind, every one of those is $5. So every like concurrent viewer you have almost, now obviously it's multiple viewers over a total amount of time, but you know, I see a lot of big streamers, like people like Cray or Lufu and stuff, where they'll be like, oh, after like 4 years on Twitch, I hit my 1 million view milestone. Like over that whole time doing Twitch, they've got 1 million views, right? I don't actually know what the exact number is for a lot of those channels, but the point is that like relative to the views, I would say Twitch monetizes each view because of stuff like subscribers and donos and bits by like, literally, I would say a factor of, I don't even think this would be an exaggeration, 10,000 times more than what YouTube does. If I get one view on YouTube, that's worth roughly 0.1 cents, or is it 0.01 cents? I don't know. It's like, but it's almost nothing. Whereas on Twitch, every viewer is like, when you've got these donors coming in, man, if you're sitting there with like 2,000 viewers and you're getting a few subs and a few donors and like, you get like, you can get a lot per viewer. So I mean,
you literally look at it right now. Like, how much are you getting paid per 1,000 views on YouTube right now? $1.50?
$1.
Probably.
A lot of
$1.
Yeah, about $1, and a lot of people.
It's low right now because of Corona, but you're getting paid $1 per 1,000 views. You think about if you had 1,000 concurrent viewers on Twitch, it's obviously not like a, apples and apples, but like, you're right. It does monetize way better on a per view perspective.
If you have 1,000 viewers come through your Twitch stream on Twitch, you will make more than $1. I think that's the point.
100%. 100%.
But yeah,
I think like, long story short, it's not good. If you were a small Twitch streamer, that sort of strategy, it's just not going to get you any favors unless, of course, you're right. Like unless you're literally trying to blow up.
Marketing.
Dude, I hadn't thought about that, but that's like a big play.
Big play. Big
Crazy.
play. Well, that was like final thing before we move off this topic. It was kind of like what Deji did when Deji was sitting at 9.9 million subscribers for the longest time.
Yeah.
And he just kept doing like dumb outrage stuff. He'd be like, I'm challenging my brother KSI to a boxing match. I hate KSI. I have coronavirus. He was literally going out there just saying the most cooked, outrageous stuff. Like, because it gets his name circulating. And that's what
another example is? Our dear friend Geordie Quabblecop. Like, he, a couple weeks ago on Twitter, was tweeting some crazy stuff. Like, some crazy stuff. Love Geordie, obviously. Good friend of ours. But, tweeting things like, I'm going to hit 100 million subscribers before Mr. Beast does. Or guarantee you I'm going to be the best YouTuber on the platform this year. And people hear that. They hear something like a big statement like that, and they immediately are like, what?
Push back.
No, you're not. Like, let me prove you wrong. Like, and you're right. Like, it generates, those tweets had more engagement for him than he's had in months.
Yeah, 100%.
So it works. I don't know. Maybe this girl's onto the right track. Probably not, but
let's hope
she could be.
Let's hope not.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about the Travis Scott event in Fortnite. That happened last week, which was bloody crazy. You were streaming it. How did it go?
It was crazy. It's definitely the biggest event they've done in ages. Like, I remember we saw some leaked files in the game like 6 months ago. Yeah, literally like 6 months ago.
For Travis Scott?
Mentioning Travis Scott. And
whoa.
It's definitely like just such a huge thing beyond anything they've ever done, like by a crazy magnitude. And I think that I think what's really interesting about it is just like, once again, it's this thing we've been talking about and we know that Fortnite's been working towards for the longest time, but it is literally, it's just all about the fact that they're trying to turn Fortnite into, they don't want Fortnite to be a battle royale, which is smart. They know battle royales have got a life cycle where people will, even though Fortnite's held up super well, people will inevitably get sick of it. It's just a fact, like they will. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to more and more slowly build it into kind of like a social platform, where it's like a hub space for
metaverse.
Crazy stuff. Yeah, a metaverse, where they can have like, and obviously like when they have player bases this big, I think they realize where they can make so much money is when they have a musician who's like, yo, I got this new song coming out. Want to do some sick, dope promotion for it. They're like, we will literally build you a giant in-game concert. And I would love to know, I would love to know the flow of money. Like, is it that, for example, the Star Wars event, does Star Wars just say, hey, if you show our clip in game, we will let you use our IP in Fortnite? Or does Fortnite pay Star Wars to be like, hey, can we use Star Wars IP? Or is it just like the other way around? There's so much stuff I would love to know. But
I would love to know the deal terms. Even like the fact that Fortnite is playing Quibi shows in Fortnite now. You know, I'm like,
that was bad. That was bad though. Like,
I don't think it worked.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, I think it's an example of Fortnite, exactly what you were saying, trying to be more than just a game. Like they're trying to make Fortnite somewhere that you come and hang out, where you could like talk with friends, see a concert, watch a movie, like all these little things. I think it's like crazy ambitious. And I think it's amazing the investment that they're prepared to make in that long game. Because you think about last year, remember when they did the black hole?
Yeah.
And they went down for days to try and relaunch with the new engine that they're using, the Unreal engine. And
that was a bit later, but yeah. They've always used Unreal. It was like a Unreal. Anyway, long story short, but yeah.
Yeah.
They went down as a marketing thing.
But they're putting time and an investment into making sure that they're doing this right and they're laying the groundwork. Don't you reckon?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that they like. Well, I had like a couple of chats with some people from Epic, and I was like, when they did the whole engine upgrade, which was a few months into Fortnite Part 2. Like the big thing that was apparently the big change there is it allows it to deal with physics objects a lot better. So you can actually create like real physics. You hit a ball bounces, that kind of thing. And I remember I went to them and I was like, just because I've thought this ever since creative mode, but this was clearly them taking it to the next level. They didn't input that physics engine because it makes Battle Royale any better. Because it doesn't.
No,
it just doesn't.
I remember saying that.
They want Battle Royale to stay exactly the same. What is interesting though is that I was chatting to one of the guys. I was like, you guys are basically wanting to implement this because of like games like Gmod, right? Which is like a game where it's just like a sandbox. They're trying to make Fortnite a sandbox that's as accessible to people as they can. And because ultimately, while one game can get stale, if you have something like Gmod, where it's just like a blank canvas where people can create anything. And that's kind of what they've already done with creative mode. And now by implementing a better physics engine, they're doing that even more. So yeah, I think it's just like...
What do you reckon about the new island that they introduced where you can't even pick up guns or anything? Like
I thought it was really cool. I think it's like right now it's kind of like, okay, this is really cool. What exactly do you do here? But I think it very clearly shows that whole thing where it's like they're very much trying to become like the next, they're trying to make it like
I don't think there's anyone, when you say like the next, I don't think there's anyone that's ever really done what they're trying to do.
No, not really. I would say Gmod is the closest I can approximate to it in terms of a game where, number one, it's a lot of games within one game, but also it's a game where a lot of people literally just launch it up and just chill in there with friends and just chat and like spawn stuff and just do dumb things. That's
I remember when we were at the Fortnite
space.
Yeah, I remember when we were at the Fortnite World Cup last year, and we were having a conversation with a couple of the Epic guys, and they were saying that like a lot of this stemmed from the fact that they were recognizing that kids were literally going into the lobby just to talk with their friends. Yeah. Not even like getting into games. They were literally there to talk with their friends. Maybe because like people don't use Discord and stuff as much when they're that young, and it's just like easy to use one thing. But yeah, it's so crazy to see what will happen, and crazy to see like very mainstream celebrities like a Travis Scott or like a Marshmello or like I don't know, like who else did it? Who else did a little concert last week that you were talking about?
Oh my God.
Major Lazer.
Major Lazer. That's it. Thank you for remembering better than the actual Fortnite YouTuber. But yeah, I think that was like, that's interesting because I think it's the Major Lazer one was actually in many ways more interesting to me than Travis Scott, because the Travis Scott one isn't sustainable. They can do one of those every like 6 months, like those in-game events are hard to pull off. They're really, really tough. But what the Major Lazer one was literally Major Lazer on basically like a movie screen doing a live stream. Literally like a live stream of him just like playing on some DJ decks being like, oh yeah, this is sick. Which is like obviously not nearly as impressive as something like Travis Scott, but it's like it's a cool proof of concept to be like, to create, like a cool in-game moment. And also something where I'm sure that like, if Fortnite wanted, they could go to these music labels. They could be like, yo, you give us $3 million, we will let you do your new song in-game, right? Which is like promotion to all these kids, which
13 million live viewers apparently in Fortnite. Like
for Travis Scott.
For Travis Scott, peak ever. And what I thought was really funny is we then did some work with Sony which is Travis Scott's music label. So they were saying, okay, this is coming out in game on Friday. Saturday, we want you guys to be doing like Instagram stories or TikToks or whatever, promoting the song and saying like, now you can go stream it on Spotify.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so cool to see how people are doing that. And the fact that they were saying, like, another little bit of like info is they were saying that no social media platform ever has converted better to streams of music than TikTok has.
Yeah.
They were saying it's like off the chain in terms of how effective that conversion is when you hear a song on TikTok to then go stream it.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've kind of touched on this a couple times over the last couple months, but it's crazy. Like, I think TikTok, they just surpassed 2 billion downloads.
Yeah.
2 billion downloads. The world only has like 7 billion people in it. That's nuts.
And a lot of those people don't have phones.
Dude, it's crazy. It's just crazy how much that app has exploded. Like, you see little social medias like try to pop up all the time. And I don't think anyone in the last literally like 6 to 8 years has pulled it off as well as TikTok has.
No, they've done an insane job. They've done an absolutely crazy job. I don't know. It's going to be,
and
it's
like
going to be so...
Drake released Tootsie Slide and you know he's like, this is going to blow up on TikTok.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's
like artists are releasing music now with the idea of like how are people going to make a dance to this on TikTok?
Yeah, exactly.
Tiger, did you like he released that Bored in the House song that I saw all over TikTok in quarantine? I'm like, you released this for a reason, didn't you? Like, this is not a great song, but
also,
it's a great
it was like
snippet.
A meme. It was almost like a meme the way he released it.
Such a meme.
Yeah.
100%. So funny. I think it's amazing. I think it's so cool to see like how artists and people are doing stuff in quarantine to like keep their careers going.
Yeah, no, it's actually crazy. It's actually insane.
I was just thinking, you know what I was just thinking? Back on the first point, what you were saying about like people doing outrage marketing, bloody Elon Musk on Twitter this week.
That's not even like outrage marketing though.
It's not even outrage marketing because he's like, I don't even know what he's marketing, but it goes back to showing how Rogue just gets the engagement. Like, goddamn.
Bro,
how
Rogue
is that man?
And wiping $14 billion off a company with a single tweet.
So if people are listening and they haven't heard, Elon Musk this week tweeted that he thinks Tesla's stock is overvalued. Just for 1 second, how is he allowed to tweet stuff like that? Legit, how is he allowed to tweet stuff like that? To me, it was absolutely crazy. I haven't checked if he's like ever had to delete it, but I checked 9 hours after he uploaded. It was still there.
I don't know, man. I like it's still up there when I checked yesterday, and that's like days.
It basically insinuates to the market that he knows something about the company that would materially affect the stock price if the rest of the market knew it.
But what's interesting is
illegal.
That they put out a notice, like they'd done their earnings report, I'm pretty sure, like just a few days before that, and the price had shot up. So like it's weird, man. I don't know.
But why? Why would he do that? Like he's losing himself.
Don't send yourself crazy trying to understand how Elon Musk's brain works because we can't. It just doesn't make sense. All right. It's Elon Musk. Elon Musk does what Elon Musk does. And I feel like that is the only way to. I
mean, unless he was like, I'll buy more stock when the rate drops.
Because here's the
and
really
wait for it to go up, but he can't do that.
Here's the weird thing is that he apparently has like a KPI, like a performance goal, where if the Tesla stock price hits a certain amount in the next like 3 or 4 months, he literally makes like a few $1 billion or like $800 million, right? Like just dumb amounts of money. So like there is no reason for him to send long story short, if you look at the other tweets he was making around that time, like selling his earthly possessions, he was tweeting some weird conspiracy stuff. I reckon he was just on a massive like acid trip. I reckon he's like in quarantine. He's locked himself in a basement and
he's doing some shrooms.
He is just shrooming. And he was just there and he was like, fuck, the stock price is insane. And then was like, this shit's good. And he just tweeted it and threw his phone away. Probably immediately got calls from like his lawyer and the CEOs and the board being like, Elon, what the fuck? And he's just like just in his own universe.
I can't be managed.
He's locked the door. Like no one can get to him. And he's probably still in a cave and no one's reached him since.
Dude, nuts.
Crazy.
Okay, well, I feel like that's a good place to leave it for this week. Let us know what you guys think about the Twitch streamers. Did she do it on purpose? I actually that's crazy. I hadn't even thought about that.
Conspiracy.
But people are messed up.
Conspiracy.
All right. We will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.